Alright, so yesterday we went to Tom's house. Tom, the master builder, he's got all the building equipment, always working on some kind of building project. We went over there, got some help from him with figuring out some things for the walls and so forth. And I'll show you what we did. Went to Home Depot first before hitting Tom's house. There's one just right, not too far from where he lives. We stopped there. We got a bunch of plywood for the top half of the walls. And we got some little strips for molding down on the floor. And so I'm going to show you, I'm about to cut out my last window piece of this plywood. All right, so here, this is our last piece of plywood here for the wall section just behind the driver's seat. You can see I got my lines cut out, lines drawn on there so I can cut that giant middle section out for the window in the van. All right, so I got the board clamped down, ready to do this. And here's our finished product. Alright, so it looks like we gotta take a little bit off the sides here. Alright, so we made some adjustments on the wall. You can see over here that we cut the bottom portion completely off and had to trim it up a little bit, but it fits now. But before we put it up, we gotta put these little wood pieces in so that we can attach the wall to something. So I'm gonna put some glue on these. And these are here. Alright, so we got two wood pieces right here in the window. And then I added one up here in this corner because there's not a lot of space over here for the wall to attach to because of this wire here that probably is very important to the van. So we just got to work around that. So I decided to add another piece right here, and then another piece right here. So it looks like this wall piece, which will go up here, fits perfectly when this little corner cat piece is on. So I'm going to attach that and let it dry, and we should be good to go for this wall. Alright, so yesterday when I finished up, one of the last things I did was put the top little cat piece on the top of this cedar plank here. The wall fits perfectly when that is on. I did not put one on this side yesterday. I wasn't sure what I was going to do, if it needed it or not, because we basically had to make so many adjustments with it that I wasn't planning on doing that. But this morning waking up, realized I was like, this wall needs to match. It needs to look like it's all one wall. So I decided that better put that up there. So I just did that just a minute ago. So it's got to dry. This portion of the wall may not get put up today, but I am going to attempt at putting up this piece of the wall right there. Alright, so yesterday was pretty busy day and I did not get to film anything, but as you can see behind me, I put up one of the walls. There it is, it's up. It's not entirely perfect. This part kind of comes up, but it's glued on there and seems to have dried well. Seems to be holding in place. The nailing is not perfect either. Some of these nails I just could not get through into that piece of wood that was behind there. Have to work on that, is what to do about that and so forth. But it's up and something to work with. So also did a little bit of getting rid of extra cedar pieces. So cut up some of the cedar that was still lying around, and started lining this little metal piece with cedar to make it go with this part and the door. Yeah, and a little bit in there. The problem I found with the cedar pieces was they were really just small pieces, and if I tried to cut them down to fit those two areas, a lot of them broke in half. It was pretty hectic, frustrating work trying to do that when pieces were just breaking off in the middle of trying to cut them. But there's still some left, and I'll just keep working with what I have and hopefully get the remaining area covered. It's not gonna go all the way up. I'm not sure. I may take it up to here to line up with the door, or I may just put in a tiny little piece right here just to make it even with this, and then try to get some pieces up to meet that area so that it'll all kind of do a flow thing. Alright, it's Sunday morning and we're out here in the van and we're going to try to get as much done today as possible. I've already taken out the screws that I put in earlier this week and put this wall up with, because they got all stripped out and they they just weren't in properly, and so we're gonna redo this. And I'll admit that I put this up out of frustration, and that is something you should never do. I was just very frustrated with not getting things done, and so just came out here and did this all very fast and aggravated, so that definitely affected how it turned out. Gonna pre-drill into the wood back here, and hopefully that'll help, and then we'll screw the screws in by hand, and hopefully that'll work out better. We got the first screw in already. We had to test it out just to make sure that our plans were going to work. You know, I couldn't do this without Kim. I'd still probably be doing the same thing, expecting different results. She found a bit hole for this type of screws we're using. It was her idea to place it in this clamp, and then so what we're going to do is put it in here, and we're just going to turn it like this, and it seems to be working out very well.
What are you doing?
Alright, so we got the second piece of plywood up. It's screwed in. Everything's looking nice. Kim added some speaker box carpet over that little rib piece right there. So that's looking pretty good. When we eventually put the molding down, I'll just add to it, make that really pop. So we're gonna go take lunch and come back. So, oh yeah, and this piece right over here was redone. Everything re-screwed in. Everything looks good, holding nicely, looking really good. So yeah, going to take lunch. We'll come back to this and get some more stuff done. All right, I'm excited. All right, check it out. The wall on the passenger side back window is up now. This one had some challenges with it. They've all had their own challenges. This one, actually, right here, you see the two screws. Well, it actually broke in half right there where we were trying to just kind of see how it was going to fit and what we needed to do. But luckily, it's sitting in place, and the two screws holding it together. Also, this, I don't know if you can see that. There you go. We had to make some indentation and indentation right in there to kind of maneuver, go along with the curvature of the van. And so now ended up with this big gap right there. But we'll put one of those corner pieces to cap it off. Yeah, we'll have another one of those running down the end of the window here, just like the other two. But it's up, and it is glorious. All right, so for our finishing touches today, Kim added in the speaker box carpet there on the middle rib. Looks pretty nice. And I just added a board back there in the corner, just to kind of go with this one. And something pretty interesting that I did here was, once again, another one of Kim's ideas, but this ground wire, I wasn't sure what to do with it, how to get around it, so Kim said drill a hole into the board and then cut a line going to the hole. That's what it did, and just fed it through there. So I probably wouldn't have thought about that if I'd been sitting here by myself. So gotta give Kim a lot of credit for coming up with ideas for the van. Couldn't do this without her. But that was it for today. We got this wall, that wall, redid the screws in this wall, and we got this wall up. We got some speaker box carpet on the ribs. It's taken about a full, regular work day, 9 to 5 kind of thing. Although we're stopping at 4, so 9 to 4 kind of thing with about an hour lunch. So this is going to be the end of this video. Thank you guys for watching so much. We do appreciate it. One last thing I forgot about was the window guards that I added just yesterday to the van. We got the passenger side one there, and if we walk around here, we got our one on the driver's side. So pretty awesome, pretty stoked about those. All right, once again, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next video.